Be referenced. Did anybody get that reference?
Yes.
One? One person? Okay. All right. All right, we're going to start this evening. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. There we go. Wake up, wake up. I'm Mrs. Tittle. I'm the lead assistant principal, and I'm located over at the West Building. You're in the East Building. First of all, how many first-time high school parents, grandparents, guardians? First time. Okay. All right. All right. So this is the East Building. And Mr. Staub, he's the lead assistant principal here at the East Building. I'm Mrs. Tittle. I'm the lead assistant principal over at the West Building, which your children would be following the path. Everybody probably has heard about the path, going to and from each building, depending on their schedule each day. Where did Miss Steckroat go? Okay, all right. Well, Miss Steckroat was here, and now she's not here, but she'll be back, hopefully. Welcome tonight. I appreciate you all coming out. Just for those of you, we are live streaming, so hello to everybody at home who's logged in. Say hello, Mr. Staub. All right. All right, so this presentation shouldn't take too long, and we'll get you home in your nice, comfy, warm homes, all right? So what we're working on tonight is just to give you some insight about, why Pennsbury High School. I know I talked to a few different people who their students are kind of on the fence about either going to Pennsbury or potentially going to tech school. Maybe some of you are thinking of going private school, things like that. So tonight we're going to try to give you a comprehensive view about what is Pennsbury. We're going to go over high school credits, the schedule, because we do have a block schedule here at Pennsbury High School, which is unlike a lot of our surrounding districts. We're going to walk you through a little bit of the course selection process that your children will be doing very, very shortly in their middle schools. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the resources and the activities and things here at the high school. So, all right, why Pennsbury High School? The thing I think that Pennsbury as a district really prides itself on are the course offerings that we offer compared to our surrounding neighbors. We have an extensive elective offerings in tech ed, industrial arts, I guess you call it industrial arts now, FCS, family consumer science, art, business. Our business computer tech program continues to grow each and every year. I think that's probably the one department that's grown the most in the last 5 years is our business and computer departments. We have all kinds of clubs and sports and things that your children can get involved in. We always tell the students their first day of school and when they come and do their visits, this is kind of a new fresh start for you. So I always ask students, just try to step a little bit out of your comfort zone while you're here. By doing that, you're going to meet new people that you've not gone to school with before. You'll be exposed to a lot of different experiences here, and it'll help kind of choose where you want to go after you leave us in 4 quick years. I think I'm very proud of the spirit that we have at Pennsbury High School. Obviously, I'm sure you all have heard about sports night. I personally am very proud of our senior prom. I like to jokingly call myself the prom queen because right now I'm in charge of the prom and have been for the last few years. So that experience, if you have the time, and I can't remember the exact date, but the Saturday when prom is held, we do an open kind of community walkthrough. I invite you to come and walk through and see it. This is where we hold our prom. This first floor will look nothing like it does right now. We completely different and magical, and it's very much a community event. When you leave, you'll probably see some people out here in the lobby. Those individuals are working on our prom, and they have been working on our prom since October, and it's just only going to build and build. We have 31 AP. I think Patty Steckerot's in the back. She's our lead of our counseling department. We have probably the most AP courses in the county, right? We also are starting new pre-AP courses, and those are at the middle school? Okay, we have some pre-AP at the middle school, and we have 2 new pre-AP classes here that we have. We also have a lot more dual enrollment opportunities where your child could sign up to get credit at Gwinnett Mercy and Bucks County Community College. So there is a fee involved, but you can actually graduate with some college credits. If you do it right, you almost can kind of skip that freshman year in college, and it's much more affordable when you do that. So that's something that we offer here as well. And, you know, I say it every time we have during the holiday, right before the holiday season, we have alumni come back each and every year, and they talk about what rich environment, rich educational experience that they've received here at Pennsbury, and we're very, very proud of that. All right, so obviously this is a big school. We have 2 buildings. We have roughly 2,800 students, so it is a large high school. So what we try here at Pennsbury is to make that large high school feel a lot smaller. And with that, we do things like have teams each year. I am the lead assistant, and I will be next year in charge of, I have seniors this year, so I will be the lead supervising 9th and 10th grade. So I will be potentially with your kids for all 4 years. There's also another assistant principal who is solely going to be your children's lead principal or assistant principal, and that's Mr. Carfagno. We also have management assistants, that's Miss Law. She's the one who probably takes care of things like attendance. If there's sometimes, nobody here in this room, any kind of disciplinary issue, she'd be the one who might be calling you, reaching out for your support and working with your child. Our special education supervisor for this grade will be Marissa Ray. We have dedicated social workers that are dedicated to your child and your child's grade, and that's Katie Snyder. And then we have all of these people here who will be your school counselor for all 4 years that your child is here. And then we have our Falcon period. Falcon period is twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. One day, Tuesday, is dedicated to things like college and career readiness, social emotional needs, things like that. And then on Thursday, we have an academic nest period. And it's the same cohort, the same group of students in 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. So that 18, 19 kids will be the same group that they will know all 4 years. So that's another way of making a very large school seem a little bit more smaller and intimate. Something that you may not be aware of. We have started to advertise this, but this is something I wanted to put into this presentation. Start time starting next year. We haven't finalized it 100%, but the tentative start time is going to be 8:10, give or take a few minutes, to 2:55. So basically, guys, you kids, the schedule that you're on now in middle school, the start time will be that here at the high school. Middle school students next year, you can tell all your friends in 7th and 6th grade, they're probably going to have to get up earlier next year. You can spread that little rumor, all right? That, I believe they're going to be talking about that this week and solidifying it. So all of this information will be coming out, but you guys are not first to know, but privileged to know it a little more official right here tonight. All right, so we're going to talk about credits and scheduling. Like I said, we have block scheduling. We are in a semester. The semesters run, 2 semesters run from August to January. We're getting ready to wrap up our first semester here in just about a week and a half. Then the second semester runs from February to June. We have 4 periods here a day. So you guys, middle school, you have how many down? 6, 7? What was it? It was 7 when I was there. Oh my gosh. Okay, all right, well, that's very confusing. Guess what? It's not so confusing here. You got 4 periods a day, boom, easy peasy, right? The only thing is that we do have an A day and a B day. For those of you who are into music, band, orchestra, chorus, or you're in ROTC, that's an every other day class, and you would meet on an A day for, say, band. B day, you would have gym or health, and that will be all throughout the entire year. All right, our semester courses get you 1 credit, which are 18 weeks. Marking period courses, and there are not as many of those as there used to be. That's a half credit, and that runs 9 weeks. High school credits. Students have the opportunity to take 8 credits. We're changing a little bit when it comes to gym and health, and Mr. Staub can explain that a little bit more when he gets up here. But traditionally, you need 4 English credits to graduate, 4 science, 4 math, 4 history, 2 phys ed and health credits, and 9 electives. That little combination will get you to 27 credits and to the promised land of graduation. All right, this is just an example, I hope you guys can see this, of a sample schedule. First semester, you're going to see S1, S2. S is first semester, S2 is second semester. We do have 9-week courses like our health and gym classes. Those are quarter courses. So you'll see 1, 2. So first semester, this student here, their first semester schedule would be Spanish, first period, Intro to Sport, Movement and Sport, second period, first quarter, Health and Wellness, second period, second quarter, Algebra 1, third period, and World History 1 Honors, fourth period. Second semester are the other ones. All right? On the side, we have the course names, the teachers, and the room numbers. Room numbers here, because we do have East and West building. If you see a W, that means that room is over at the West building, and that is in the C hallway. It's a little more confusing over there, but once you've been there about 2 or 3 days, kids, you will understand it. If you see anything with an E, that means that's here in this building here. Okay? Every 9th grade student will take English, and the options for English are an honors, academic. We have co-taught sections for students who have IEPs and need a little additional support. We also have year-long learning support English classes. Mathematics depends on really what math you're in right now. All right, and in the program of study, there's a course description and a line of study for the math departments, the science departments. I think just about all the departments now have it. So you can see if you're, say, in geometry this year, the next progression would be X, and that's all spelled out into the program of study. World History, it's the only option for our freshmen, World History 1. You have an honors level, your academic level, or a co-taught. Again, the co-taught sections are for students who need the additional support and perhaps have an individualized education plan. Science, we have a little bit extra here. We do have an AP Environmental Science 9 for our really strong science students. We have regular environmental science for 9th grade, and then we have a co-taught environmental science as well. We have a half credit of Intro to Movement or Sports, AKA Phys Ed. We have Health and Wellness for half a credit, and then you have the ability to choose 3 elective courses, and that gets you to the grand total of 8 credits. Again, we're going to go over this a little bit more, a couple more slides down the road, so don't be overwhelmed. All right, we talked a little bit about co-taught classes. If your child has an IEP, there are different levels of support here, and I do think Pennsbury really does a really wonderful job of providing different layers of support based on your child's needs. We have co-taught sections in English, math, social studies, and science, and we have self-contained classes in all of those areas as well. But say your child maybe has a reading or English need. They could be in a co-taught English class, or they could be in a self-contained English class, but maybe they are a math whiz. They could be in a general ed math or an advanced math class, depending on the needs of your child. We have reading 9, and we have reading 10 here for additional support for our students who are struggling a little bit with their reading needs. That is based on a few different factors, Lexile levels, if the students have a reading need and it's documented in their IEP. But you do need to understand that would take the place of one of the 3 electives that students have. All right, and then we have study and organizational skills for our special ed students. Again, this is based on their needs. And this class as well, like band or orchestra or chorus, will run in every other day. And the offset from that would be gym. So they'd have SO and then gym, or they would have SO and band, SO and orchestra, chorus, things like that. All right, now I'm going to introduce Mr. Staub, and he's going to continue our presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Tittle. Once again, my name is Ryan Staub, and I'm the lead here in the East Building. Welcome to course selection night. So I'd also like to welcome you to the Falcon family, right? Because for many of you, this is your introduction to the high school. This is your first time up here. On a personal note, I have a 7th grader at home, so I'm going through some of these same thoughts and same planning that are probably starting to go through your head. Just know that we will have support with you the entire time through this process. So we're going to give you a lot of information tonight. There's going to be an email that's going to come out on the 17th that's going to have a lot of dates and attachments that are going to show you how to access the program of study. I'm going to go through some of that tonight. But just know if there are questions, email us. We're available. Email the middle school counseling team, Ms. Steckroth. We'll get back to you because we know that this is new. We want to make sure that you have a good experience. And this is the first step. As we get closer to the end of the school year, there'll be more information about events such as orientation and summer visitations, where we'll get you and your child into the school to really get acclimated to what we do here. So once again, welcome to the Falcon family. So why choosing classes is so important, right? The most important thing I think I'm going to say to you tonight is right now. As you go and enter the high school, you start building what we call a transcript. That's like that permanent record you've always heard about, but now it's here, right? So when you start planning for your 9th grade, you're building your record that's going to help you with not only your future planning, but your future opportunities. So whether you plan on attending a 4-year university, 2-year, the workforce, the military, those are decisions that are going to be made at home. Those are discussions and values based on interest that you're going to make. But that's really what goes into those discussions that should start happening at the kitchen table now. And one of the things I think you'll see when you access the program of studies, not only does it list what we have available, it also shows pathways, and it develops career and interest pathways. It's something that I think you will find interesting and really help you with that planning. So once again, as an incoming 9th grader, you're building that transcript. It's going to show an academic record, which will provide you with opportunities later. One of the other things that your transcript will do, as you go through your high school years, there are prerequisites to get into the next class. So some of those academic indicators will help you as you progress through. And I don't want to get too deep into that, but those things will occur and we'll be there to walk with you every step of the way. The program of studies. This is a comprehensive list of everything that we offer. There are pages that outline how we access our counseling staff. There are pages that access how we plan for course selection. And then it outlines in each department what we offer, right? What courses are available to you, the prereqs, the co-reqs, all of the things that go along with our curriculum here at the high school. There is something in there for everybody. Our school board and planning team really take a lot of time to develop student interest into courses and really focus on making sure that there is something for everyone. So I hope that you take the time to read the program of studies. It does change every year because we are constantly monitoring and evaluating our academic programs to make sure that your child has the best chance for success. So how to be best prepared? When you receive the email on the 17th, there's going to be a link that takes you to the program of studies. On page 95, and if you'd like to take a picture, that would be great, but this also will be in the email. There's a worksheet. The worksheet can be something you can print and write on there what you are interested in taking. And now as a ninth grader, many of your courses are set for you. You're going to have some core classes that you're going to need to take, but you are going to have the ability to choose some electives. So what are electives? Electives are things you would choose based on your own interest. What are you passionate about? Maybe it's a business course. Maybe it's art. We have courses in all of these areas. So that's some planning that should start taking place now so you can see the sequence of your 4 years. Now, I know sitting there, you're in 8th grade. We can't sit here and believe that you know what you want to do with the next 4 years. And many of you will change your mind and your passion, and you'll get introduced to things that change your outlook. That's fine. We will have a counseling team and administrative staff that will be there to meet with you to make sure that whatever course you want to take, we can get you on the right track. So this is a worksheet that can help you with planning. If you look at number 2, it says list 2 to 4 alternates. This is more important than ever. So you're going to pick 8 courses that you're going to take. Some are core that are going to be preloaded for you, and some you're going to get to choose. But we run the schedule 12th grade down. And what I mean by that is when we fill the schedule, 12th graders fill first, 11th, 10th, 9th. So you may not get your first choice as a 9th grader. What our guarantee is to you, by the time you finish high school, any course that you want to take, you will get access to. But it just might not be in that 9th grade year. An example I can give would be like classic cooking. There may be 360 seats for 420 requests based on kitchen size and teacher availability. So obviously some of the kids who choose that as an elective may not get it the first year, but the next year they certainly will. So that is why alternates are more important than ever. All right. And then finally, on page 96, this lists all courses available to 9th graders, right? Not only the ones that, as you can see by the arrow, that you're expected to take, the math, English, science, social studies, and PE requirements, but every elective that is available to 9th grade. So some of the courses you don't have access to until 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. When you fill out your worksheet, this will help you do that. So I suggest that, going to 95 and 96 is a great exercise between when the email is sent on the 17th and when you're going to be meeting with your counseling team. All right, so what does course registration look like? So this can be done in 2 ways, right? So beginning on January 21st, middle school counselors will be coming to your classrooms. They're going to be talking to you about course registration. The counselors will show you, as a student, how you can do your course registration. And I'm going to walk you through it now, but there will also be a presentation that I'm going to post on the website that'll show you step by step. It's very easy. But there's also opportunities for students to sit with a counselor and do it with them. So this is a transition year for us where we're making it available for parents to use, but we understand that there could be some difficulties, and we will make sure that counselors are available to help. The first step to accessing course registration looks like this. So you will sign on to PowerSchool. The student will sign in. Once you sign in, you're going to see something called class registration. You'll click on it right there. The class registration button will open up every course that's available to you. At the current time, your teachers are making recommendations for what courses they believe are appropriate for you. And that's more of like level-based. So if they think you are an honors English student, they'll recommend you for honors English. That will go into the request screen, and that will be available to you. But that doesn't mean as a parent, guardian, family member, you don't have some control over that situation. There will be forms available where you can have a conversation with a counselor and override that. Say, well, I understand the recommendation, but I'd like to challenge my child and I would like them to take this level. Or the opposite, you get a heavy course load and you say, well, really, I want them to focus on other things, so I don't want them in the honors class. And we have both situations occur every year at all grade levels. So those are really decisions being made with information from our counseling and teaching staff into your homes and making a joint decision. Once you click on the class registration, it'll open up a screen, right? And the screen has red marks, as you can see. That means it's not complete. The other part is you can click right here, and it'll take you right to the program of studies. So if you're having any questions while you do it, you click on the link. You can go to that worksheet that'll show you what you should be taking or what's available. Under each department, you will click, like say English 9. If you look, that's what's available. If you were recommended for English 9 and not English 9 honors, you will go ahead and check that button, hit submit, and then it will turn green. So after you're done, it'll allow you to move on once it's green. That is how you will select the courses. That window will be open from January 21st to February 15th. So you can look at this many times in your home once the counseling team meets with your student. On February 15th, it will lock. But that doesn't mean that that's just it, right? We're halfway through 8th grade. That doesn't mean that's the final say. From February 15th until April 15th, you can reach out, fill out a form, submit it to the counseling team, and we will make that change. That change, though, is based on availability, right? We start to look at teacher numbers. We start building teacher sections. During that time period, it's more likely than not that we will be able to make that change. It's very few times that we cannot. After April 15th, it's locked until we fill the schedule, which occurs the Tuesday after Mother's Day. And I know I'm getting in the weeds, but I just want to give you a little flavor for what this looks like. So as of mid-May, we then fill the schedules. And then we start looking at conflicts. What schedules were unable to be completed? We may reach out to you and say, you weren't able to get this course, here are your options. Or we can get this course, but you have to give up this. So those phone calls would occur if you're in that situation. So we really take a lot of time making sure that your child gets the schedule that they want. We understand that it's very important that their plan becomes actionable. So we take it very serious. The final step is we release schedules the third Thursday in August as a district. So whether your child's in elementary school or high school, the Home Access Center opens up. Once you read that, we will send out a communication that outlines what changes should occur now. You didn't get a math class you need, or you don't like your elective, which can be a conversation had with the counselor when we come back to school. So there's a lot of information that'll come out about that. But that's what the process looks like. The other part I wanted to point out, you need to select 11 credits, right? 8 core and then 3 alternates. The other thing that is important, if you look at a 9-week course, anthropology, if you select a 9-week half-credit course, you have to select 2. And it has to be in the same department. And the system will force you to do that. But the reason being is because that's how the schedule fills. So a 9-week class will be in one of the marking periods. So in marking period 1, you may have anthropology, and then in marking period 2, you may have sociology. But we can't fill a full credit course and a half credit course in the same period during the same semester. So that's something that you should focus on. That's part of the scheduling process at the high school, as Ms. Tittle said. And then once you have the 11 credits picked and you're all green, you can hit submit and you are done. You will see your alternate choices displayed. It will lock on February 15th, but you still will be able to see it, right? So it'll be available to view, and you'll be able to have those conversations ongoing as we go through the spring. After counselor presentations in classroom, I just want to reiterate the timeline. We start in classrooms on the 21st. We lock them by February 15th. we allow changes up to April 15th, and then from there, we load the schedule and release in August. So thank you for your time tonight. The last piece I want to go over is GPA. So the chart that's on here, and this is for planning purposes, as I stated, you were planning the transcript. When you take an honors course or an AP, you get a weighted GPA. So we are on a 5-point scale where if you take an AP course, we will give you 5 quality points for taking the course if you get an A+, and so forth. If you take an honors, it's a 4.5, and then a regular course, it's a 4. So when you plan for GPA purposes, when you start looking at four-year universities or future goals of what the GPA does for those opportunities, this is something you should consider in your planning. So we believe that we've made these changes to incentivize the AP course as the most rigorous and getting the 5.0, and then all the way down to the regular at a 4.0. So just for planning purposes, keep this in mind. And once again, welcome to the Falcon family. Thank you.
And one last thing, for those, welcome to the high school. For those parents who have students with IEPs, we do really try to get your children in the best class to support them in all of their needs. And right now, probably in the next couple of weeks, they're going to start having move-up meetings, looking at each child's IEP, and then looking at what courses are going to best support them when they get here. You might have your case manager reach out to you to do a transition meeting, to look at the IEP and look at courses. I'm going to try to attend as many of these as I can, as well as our special ed supervisors, so that you have a clear picture of what supports we have here to help your children. Once the course selection process is finished, sheets are going to be printed out and given to your child's current case manager for them to go back and recheck to make sure that they have the correct courses to support them in their needs. All right, so for those parents with IEPs, that's coming up, and that will probably happen in the next month. So, at the end, we do have high school counseling websites to help support you and your child as in their 4 years here at the high school. Please remember that interactive program, a studies book. You can go on counseling page right now and start looking at it. It's all available to you online in the Pennsbury High School website. And I believe, okay, final reminders. Any course changes, just remember, April 30th. If you have any questions, please reach out to your child's middle school counselor. We are meeting with all of them, Mr. Staub and I, on Friday to go over the course selection process again with them. We've already met with them once. We're going to do it again on Friday. Save the date. Keep your eyes out in August. We have typically at least two walkthroughs, kind of open houses. Your child won't have their schedule. They might. Maybe the first one they might not, but they probably will have it for the second date, and they can kind of walk their day and see where cafeterias are, gyms are, libraries, their classrooms, all of that. So please make sure that you keep an eye out. There will be email correspondence for all of these things as well, so just make sure you keep your eyes out. And we thank you so much for coming out on this very cold night, and we appreciate it. Have a nice evening.